Abdur Rehman joined me in batch 11, that is November batch, and today he cleared PMP. The journey has been interesting and it was full of interesting events, and I'm extremely excited that he is here to share his success journey to us. The purpose of inviting to him here is that so that you guys can get motivation a little bit and you can actually ask the question that you want to ask. So, Abdur Rahman, why don't you share your entire journey in your own way?
Yes, first of all, thank you, Amir, for inviting me in this class. I would really like everyone to get motivated. At the start, everyone is demotivated or is full of getting knowledge that exhausted. There are lengthy classes, and you will be doing mocks and RCA. So my success journey is I started thinking about this PMP around 2 years back, and I started following Amir also by then. But at that time, I wasn't eligible for the PMP exam due to my experience level. So I just, I was sure that if I choose this person, or I need guidance because there are things which you cannot do alone, or you cannot uh, do in a private. So you need coaching and mentoring, and which was provided by Amir in a very good manner. And today, after clearing this exam, I also sent a picture to Amir Ali that I was my family really celebrated that thing by bringing a cake and gifts, so cakes and gifts. So this you now from this you can get an idea how exciting, and everyone was waiting that I should clear the when I will clear the PMP. So that is from my side.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about straightforward few things. You started your journey in the month of November. Okay, same as these guys are joining the last week of November. So, how much you knew about the PMP, the study material, what you have done before that, before you start your journey?
Okay, so before starting my January, I didn't knew much about PMP. I just knew that I have to read PM book 2 to 3 times to get the PMP done. And by saying you challenging everyone that you don't need to read a book, or so I said I don't like to read books, so I should go with you. So I didn't much do anything and knew anything about PMP except this that it was a PM book based exam.
Okay, so that's an important thing for everyone, but I am just saying you don't have to read book if you don't like to read book. Being said that, everyone learns at their own pace. So let's talk about the exam. How was the exam? How did you manage time in the exam?
Okay. So there was, 2 30 minutes in the exam, in the actual exam. So in the first section, I cleared in like 76 minutes, second section 78 minutes, and third was 72 minutes. And I was remaining with 2 minutes to review if any questions, but there weren't any questions to get reviewed. And seconding your line that I think you said that the first section was, punch in the face, Muhammad Ali punch. I was expecting the punch, but there is a quotation that expectation is worse than reality. So in reality, I did get the punch, but the half of it. Half of the first portion was really difficult, but half of was it the was very easy, and
Hmm.
rest of the exam was not very much difficult.
Not very much difficult, or you were very good prepared.
I would say I was good prepared.
Yeah, that's a very important thing to look into that reality, how much you are prepared, how much you are
Exactly.
prepared. That's an important thing to look into that before we move forward. How much you are prepared, and he was over prepared. Okay, so a very before we because these guys don't know as of now what is root cause analysis, what is coaching call. So I'll come to that later on. Just tell me one thing: how
Okay.
important follow up is, and what is my follow up? Tell to them.
Your follow up is just simple and very elegant, I would say. You just ask what's done, you know, that's the punch. So, and now you have to give the real answer if you have done anything or not. And follow up is really important. It keeps you motivated. If you are getting off track, Amir will you get back on track by keeping follow up.
Okay, okay. So let's talk about what Zafar asked. How much time did you spare daily? Was it a dedicated time or a random time?
It wasn't a dedicated time, it was a random time. And in the initial, there was three stages of my study as new. Initially, I tried to give 3 to 4 hours daily. In the middle, due to my working conditions, constraints, I was reduced to half to 1 hour daily. And the last, I was giving around 4 to 5 hours.
Hmm. Four, 4 to 5 hours. Okay. 4 to 5 hours daily you were giving. But why he was giving 4 to 5 hours? Because people are getting panic. What? We have to give 4 to 5 hours? 180 mock. 180 mock can only be done in 4 hours.
Yes.
That is
Exam for 4 hours.
exam is 4 hours. He was doing 180 mocks. There are total six 180 mocks. So you have to sit for 4 hours. So that's why he was doing for 4 hours, just to make easy for you, all of you guys. Okay. So for all of you new people, we do three coaching call. That's a question answer session in which after this, like whatever the questions you have, after 2 weeks, we will be doing that so that you can get all the questions and we keep on solving them. He joined almost all the coaching call, and that is the
बनने के लिए किसका उसका है
if you join the coaching call, you will get the PMP done. Abdur Rahman, how important it was to join the coaching call?
A coaching call is very important, I would say, because in even if I was prepared and one day before I attended a coaching call, I learned new from something from that coaching call, which I wrote in my workbook, that like a lesson learned, that if this thing is important, everything from every coaching call I have learned something new.
Hmm. Every coaching call you learn, and I do request and recommend everyone to join the coaching calls and work into that. That's an important thing, and we need to look into that how that can be done. Okay, so which questions were more important?
180 questions. If you are talking about the mocks, if,
Mhm.
they are the most important. And in the exam, you can say it was mainly my exam was dominated by Agile,
Okay.
following by teams, stakeholders, and communication.
Yeah, so that's why, guys, from yesterday, I am punching with the agile. There's a reason why I'm saying agile, agile, agile. Okay. Most difficult questions from which topic? Yeah, that's a good question. Which topic has the most challenging questions?
You can say from a risk topic, there were 2 to 3 questions, and they were drag and drops,
Hmm,
which were the most difficult.
hmm. From this topic, those proximity and things like that. Proximity, what?
Yeah, proximity, dormancy,
Yeah,
urgency.
that's not nothing. Don't worry, that will be getting done. Okay. So what else was challenging in your exam?
Nothing else was challenging. If I followed your timeline, if you follow the timeline given by Armin, like he will tell you a rule of managing time in exam, like 80 minutes for the first section, 75 minutes, and then 75 minutes. I think, and you control your nerves, so you will get the exam easily.
Okay, so okay, that's a very important thing. Let's say, Abdur Rahman, you are giving advice to your younger self in November. He's starting preparation. So, what advice you would give him that how he should prepare for PM?
Okay. Uh, for preparation of PMP, I would advise you to strictly follow the roadmap, or the roadmap given to you by Amir. Okay, he have shared you with his roadmap, and all the guidelines given to you by Amir. And don't distract yourselves by reading any other material, because you will get distracted. And initially, I was reading other materials and I was literally getting distracted. And then I said, no, I will have to follow this thing. If you understand whatever is being said in the coaching call, in these main calling sessions, you will go ahead with the exam.
Yeah, so this is what I basically was discussing with you guys, that we don't need to go through any other material. The most important thing is, like, we need to work into the material I am sharing. That is more than enough that you will ever need for anything. Okay, let's see some of the question. If you remember questions, please. Hajar, that is not allowed. I am, with all due respect, that is not allowed. He cannot share the exact question. He will be making, Abdur Rehman, 10 question, exam like question, relevant to that, but he cannot share the exact question. That's all. Okay, so there are two breaks in the exam. How did you
Okay.
manage time and break in the exam?
I just followed. First of all, when I entered the before starting my exam after the tutorial, I wrote down on the sheet my how will I manage the time. Like for first 20 questions, I will take 30 minutes. Then next 20 minute questions. Then next 20 questions, and I was strictly following that. If I felt that I am taking more time, I flagged that question. There were only I flagged only two questions, and I moved on. So in the end, I had like 2 to 3 minutes. I also reviewed that question.
Okay, okay. And did you took both of the breaks?
Yes, I took both of the breaks.
Both of the, were they important?
The breaks were most important in uh, I would say because while giving exams, because that was a center, I saw there were four exams that were started and completed. Mine was the longest exam.
Hmm.
Even the project coordinator, he was really a good person. He kept bringing on tea and water and
Oh,
stuff
really?
so that
Where did you give the
yes.
exam? I want to know.
Yes, he was a really good person. In Karachi I gave the exam.
Ah,
And
that's
following up on that, one advice regarding the exam I would like to give to my colleagues that if possible for you, please visit the test center before the exam,
hmm.
because I from in my scenario there were three exam centers were being showed, and I visited all three of them, and two were very far away. I wouldn't manage to give the exam after such tiring driving. And one was the one I gave the exam today. This was very close, and the person was very you can say welcoming.
Okay, that's very good. That's very good. Okay, what was the length of the questions?
Length was the questions minimum there were three-liner and maximum was the four-liner, three
How
to
much,
four lines. You
how
can say.
much random questions were important to prepare you for exam?
Oh, random question really test your nerves, and
Hmm.
they are important because you
Hmm.
have to control your nerves. They were important. They were
Okay.
really important.
How many mathematical questions?
No mathematical question, but simple SPI and CPI was were given, and you have to tell that is the project behind schedule or the
Mm,
ahead of
mm.
schedule.
Okay. So when we talk about agile, what David is asking, the questions were more towards four values and 12 principles, or it was more towards Scrum or other methodologies?
It was more towards the Scrum,
More towards, and any
like
other
sprints, retrospectives, reviews.
and any other methodology?
No, there were no any other
No
methodology.
other methodology. Okay. So no, though there are no questions from the mocks, as in never. Okay, we can do it online, or you can give exam online.
Uh,
But in Muscat, there is a center, Hajar, and I do recommend give it the center that is best. It's a good center. If you give online exam, please understand you cannot mumble, like you cannot move your lips. The internet get disconnected, you can have challenge. So if you have a center, I would highly recommend that. G, if any of you have any other question, please feel free to ask. What was your result?
Amit?
People, he did not receive the result as now, Mehtab. He will get it after 48 hours. Ji, Abdur.
Yes. Yes. So what the SN asked that questions are new from the mod. I would like to add something here. Two questions were exactly from the mod,
Hmm.
And I
Two
was
questions.
smiling and I was
500. You have solved nearly 5,000 questions, so two questions is okay.
I was smiling and I was remembering, oh, I thank God I did the RCA. I remember what is the answer of these questions. At least two are correct.
Okay. Okay. So let's move into that. Can't mumble in online exam. Yes, you can't mumble. You cannot move here or there. Okay. How many percentage of agile question was almost?
You can say around, you can say around 50% was agile.
Was agile. Okay. Anything else
Yes.
that you can give us?
Yes. The last, there are two things. The one is the RCA. RCA is most important. RCA is the basically root cause analysis, which I hope Amir will tell you. uh, Doing RCA of each and every mocks and even of the right questions and right and wrong question answers is tough. Like Amr said in our coaching call that writing something is tough. Okay, so do explanation when you give the answer. So, but that really gives you some new insight, or you really learns from something. You remembers what you did in the question. You don't remember anything, or remember less from the class.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, thank you very much for your time. I know, yeah, you just cleared the exam and you wanted to enjoy. When I called him, when I wake up, I called him. He said, I just woke up. So I said, okay, come to the class. We'll their question like a case, and you have to write solutions like essay. No, Hajar, 180 questions. Just like the questions I gave you, the 50 questions. I hope you have solved it. Just like those questions will come in the exam. Not those questions, just like those. Okay, Abdurrahman, anything else you would like to add?
Uh, yes, in the last, I would like to thank you, Amir, for your
Hmm.
dedicated efforts towards me, because from last 2 weeks I was not letting you uh, sit
I
on.
understand.
I was pushing you that I have to give the exam.
He was kind to try to push me. I want to give exam. And I said, nah, unless your hardening sprint is done for everyone. Unless
Yes,
hardening
exactly.
sprint is done, unless I feel that you are ready, you are not going to give the exam. So then he showed me that okay, he's getting good score. I said, okay, now go and give the exam. So guys, this is hardening sprint. That you make sure that before you give it to the client, that it is 100% ready. So I really appreciate you coming there. Do send me your certificate. I will also put it, and do send me your picture. I will
Sure,
when I'll upload the
sure,
video, I will put it there. One more thing, you
sure.
know it very well. My
Recording in progress.
my mantra: each one teach one. Mute yourself. Somebody is unmuted. Each one teach one is the Hamad. Mute yourself. Each one teach one is the mantra of the game. So everyone, please, uh, please each one teach one is the mantra of the game. Group one is doing it. Now, Abdurrahman, you need to do in the PMP aspirant group. Please make 10 questions
Yes,
for PMP. I will be using those questions in the upcoming classes. Thank you very much, Abdurrahman.
sure,
And
sure.
I will wish you best of luck.
Welcome. Thank you.